that is up for debate and up for grabs is, what do you do if your spouse or partner is more successful than you are? You're welcome to share your thoughts in the comments, and you're also welcome to join us as we're live streaming this. The question again is, how do you deal with a more successful or more prosperous spouse? Our guest tonight is Maria Drueco, and this is the Yeg Show where we support and promote businesses. Hello, Maria.
Hi T, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for joining the show tonight. How
Thanks
are
for
you?
inviting me. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. I know we had a call last week. Oh, sorry, it was yesterday or 2 days ago. We were on a
2 days
call
ago, maybe. Yeah.
a couple of days ago. So, how have you survived this season? You look well.
Oh,
How have
thank
you
you.
survived this
You
season?
as well. Well, I have not been going out, right? So maybe that's why I'm more, relaxed and I'm working from home.
Well,
It's been stressful though since the COVID erupted. So the COVID pandemic erupted. It was March, April, because I do have a travel agency, right? So aside
yeah.
from my consulting business, so that one took a lot of time and energy out of me because most of the clients that I who did book with us, we had to help them go back to the country. So it was quite stressful.
Thank you. Thanks for joining the show. So I'm trying to share into other platforms there. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
So you
So
take
yeah.
time to evaluate and
And I mean, I think all of us were quite caught blindsided by the pandemic. Nobody expected it's going to be a full blown one, right? It was such a huge chaos, and people have been quite unprepared.
yeah.
Everyone was unprepared, so including myself and how we deal with the business and with the clients. So we're not playing any playbook, right? So we
That's
didn't follow
true.
any guidelines and everything. So but it's all about just being present for that day and just trying your best to do what you can. And then there's always another day. That's just how I see it. And then also I think it's the mindset that's very important. So how you see things and how you perceive things, that will help you not just survive but thrive in this pandemic, in this COVID-19 situation. So,
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we're slowly getting progress, and it's
How do you gauge the future? Do you see progress? Do you see hope? Do you see things returning back to the way things were pre-COVID?
well, in my opinion, it's going to be different. It's going to be different pre-COVID. Things will not be the same, I think, based on how we've seen the government responding and how businesses have been affected. So I can say that even from my consulting and trainings, I'm pretty sure you've been affected by that too. We've been doing some workshops, in-person workshops, and we have to quickly pivot to doing online trainings and online workshops and webinars. We have to
Yeah.
quickly learn how to do those kind of stuffs. And
Yeah.
even the travel right now, travel is still we're not
Still,
allowed to do travel
yeah.
non-essential if it's non-essential travel. So I believe that there is hope. There will be. It's not. I think it's going to be slow though when it comes to reaching the situation we're in. It's kind of like pre-COVID. It's going to be
Yeah.
slower, but there
Okay.
is hope. There's always hope. There's always a bright
And
future.
I
Yeah.
like that when you say there's always hope, and that is true, really, because
Mhm.
we all have to believe that there is hope to keep going, to carry on. But my next question is, how do you keep morale high when everything around you may be negative or indicates to the negative? How do you keep your own morale high? And I know you have eight. With your travel agency business, you have eight independent consultants who
Mhm.
work with you. How do you gather everybody every day to keep going through this really difficult season?
Yeah, and you know what? That's very true because they only started last year with us. So I
Uh,
had to touch base with them and ask them how they're feeling, and just connecting with them and see how I can be of help. So for the most part, I've been trying to help them because they're kind of new in the business too. So in terms of the process of how to do cancellation and everything. I'm helping them out. But for me, I think the most important thing is asking how they are, how their family is doing,
Oh
because really business is business, but people is people, right? So we have to take care for people first. That's the most important thing for me. Checking in on them, and then I tell them it's just very unfortunate that you have started with this kind of situation. It's not usual. It's not normal that you are experiencing this, because everyone is experiencing this thing. So I'm trying to give them some encouragement, and I tell them, if you don't feel like continuing the business, I can understand too. So I leave it all up to them. There's no pressure, because really the most important thing for me is to support them.
That's right. I mean, when we talk about business, I'm part of a workshop next week or so where it looks at the future of work. You know, with in some industries, for example, I'm finding out that post COVID, things will be really slow. Like if you're working from home, for example, you may or may not need to take your children to a childcare provider. So I'm envisaging that that industry may be affected. So when you look at the travel industry and you know, your primary focus, I also know you coach coaches, you're a trainer. How do you see or envisage the change that you need to make to adapt to this post-COVID scenario?
Hmm. Well, that's a very good question. But for me, I believe that you have to start with the basic, and I believe it's our mindset. So
Yeah,
if our mindset is not the right mindset on how you deal with the situation,
yeah,
even though you're doing a lot of stuff to process stuff, improve the process, it will all be a failure, because you have to make sure that the foundation, which is yourself, is quite sturdy. So I believe that's the most important thing for us to have, having that right mindset. And there's a lot of behaviors that we should be adapting to, right? The mind, the behavior of the attitude of of gratitude is very important, because
yeah.
I believe
That's a good one.
we're quite lucky here in Canada that we are in a situation we're in. We can still eat 3 times a day. We can still in the Philippines, my countrymen there, they were like quarantined, and for the most part, the government is rationing food to them. So if
Well,
there is
that's
no ration for that day, you know how can people eat, right? So I think
um,
most important thing is gratitude is first, and then again perception. So I did a webinar to past few months since the COVID started. We've been doing a lot of free webinars for business owners to help them cope with the situation, and that includes the mindset too. So I had a question there, like, how do you see 2020? Do you see it as a year that is done and over, or do you see something different as an opportunity? So
right.
it's
Right.
seeing the glass half full and half empty. So it really depends on that particular person.
I agree with you. So when it comes to your seasoned business owner in this city, you have people who work with you. You're a trainer as well. How does your partner deal with the fact that you're very successful? Is he intimidated? Or have you dealt? Is he a go-getter like you are? How has he dealt with your success and fame?
Well, I'm quite blessed because he is very supportive. So he just lets me do what he thinks that I'm happy with.
You need,
And I think that's very important too. That helps me a lot, because if my husband is not supportive, it's going to be hard to to really move forward and at least adapt to the situation. So I mean, I do my best to really do my part in terms of making the home our home, like cooking and everything, right? So
yeah.
yeah, I hope I'm not neglecting them with the kind of business I'm into.
I mean, fair enough. You've got to do what you need to do. So, are you? Is your household a bit more traditional than where the woman does the kitchen and the man does everything else? Or
It's a shared responsibility. So I usually cook, and he does the dishes. My children clean the house and help me with the laundry. So it's a shared responsibility. So, which is good. That's why I can do some stuff too, right?
That is true. What would you say to women whose or men whose spouses feel threatened by their rising fame or by their fame? How would you counsel them, Maria?
Well, I think you should be happy with how your spouse is faring or your partner is faring in whatever business or initiative that you're doing, because um, that person's success will be your success as well. That's how I
That's
see it.
true.
And for one person to be successful, he or she cannot do it on his own. So they need you to support them to be able to be successful. So just think of it's supporting that person's dream, and making sure that they are supported is very important, and that's very helpful too in a marriage or in a partnership. So
And this may not exist for Filipino men, but I'm a Nigerian woman, and some Nigerian men have what I'll put or describe as an ego, where if maybe you are a bit more successful, you may have to tread carefully so they don't say you are aggressive, proud, whatever. They'll just find a way to label you, and then once you're labeled, you're really not good. Like I said, it may be a problem with African men, and I don't think it probably exists in Asia or in the Philippines. So it's a really
yeah, sometimes it's part of the culture too, but
mm,
I believe that even though you are part of a culture, you are your own personality. So maybe it depends on that person, right? So
that's true.
um
That's true.
and of course, if the expectation, if you are living in Nigeria, is going to be the same, right? So all men may be like that, I don't know, but maybe it's part of the expectation. In the
I don't know.
Philippines,
I left Nigeria 20 years ago. I really don't know.
right? So maybe it's changed too, so women are more
I
empowered.
don't think so. I see some men now. I'm so turned up.
Mhm.
I want to ask you, where do you advertise? Do you advertise at all? Where have you been putting your marketing dollars?
Well, for the most part, it's Facebook,
All right.
usually social media,
Okay.
and in my travel business, I do print advertising as well.
Okay. Do you see a future for workshops, and what is the trend there? I see lots of free webinars like you two have been doing, and you're like, God,
Yeah.
where do I need to be? Jump on that Zoom call, jump on that. Do you see this as a future? Zoom town halls, is that
Well,
happening?
I think as long as there is still restrictions in terms of travel, people are not comfortable, being in a larger group. There will
Yeah,
still be webinars going on. But when it comes to the free webinar, though, I think as a business, you're here to earn, right? So free webinar is good, but I think as a business, you should also try to balance what you're giving for free and
yeah.
what workshops should be paid for.
Hmm. Now talking about free, you have a free ebook tonight
Hmm.
to give away. What is in the
Hmm.
ebook? Let
So
me.
that
What is
yeah,
possible? I'm
so
gonna
that
share.
ebook is it's called hold on, it's a business savvy 101 ebook. So basically, if you are wanting to set up a business and you don't know where to start, how to do it, it's going to help you because it's going to be step by step guidelines on how to start a business. Or maybe if you're in the middle of setting up a business, and it's a good guide too, because you may be missing one step, which is kind of important for you to become, to make sure that you're managing risk in terms of setting up your business. That is also beneficial for someone who is in the middle of setting up a business. So um, I'm giving it for free, for especially for those who would like to set up their own business, because they think that they can actually, they wanted to do some change in their life, and now is the right time. It is a free ebook for you. You have to send me your interest, like just send me an email. I'm not sure how we can actually do you want me to send the information on the chat,
Yes, please. If you put
T?
some
So,
information on the chat.
okay.
What I'm
Mhm.
doing now is I'm in the process of sharing my screen.
Mm-hmm.
So just bear with me. You keep telling us about what's your sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay.
So yes, so this is it's a 34 page, I think. I have 34 pages ebook. So it's a quite a practical guide in terms of how to define your market, how to set up your business. We will not be giving any legal advice. It's just based on best practices, and this is quite helpful for US based and Canadian based businesses, because I do have some information there about setting up your business, how to register your business, and what are the important forms that you need to fill up, or do you need to contact the IRS or the CRA to get a business permit or a business license or a business number. It's all there. And then there's also some information there about how to find your audience, or how to find your target market for your business. So I mentioned there's something about doing some kind of a market survey to
Yeah.
test it's more of a feasibility study. How do you do that, and whether you need it for your business. So those are like basic stuff for someone who doesn't know where to start, and it would benefit them to read that ebook. So it's a very straightforward ebook, quite short to maybe in a day. If you spend some time in a day, less than half day, you'll be able to finish them. So it's very straightforward, very practical tips for business owners. So that's why I have entitled it Business Savvy 101, because for you to be able to start your business, you should know what to do, right? So that'll be a step-by-step guide for those who wanted to set up their own business.
Okay, that's beautiful. I've got your slide here, but for
Mm-hmm.
some reason I know where it is on my computer. But each time I try to share it, um, I oh my goodness, you'd have to forgive me. I don't. It's
There you
not.
go. It's working.
Um,
So,
no, not quite. Not quite. I'm really sorry about this. What I'm going to promise to do for you tonight is I'm going to put it up on my. I'm going to put it up next to this video on our pages because I'm not getting it right. I'm really sorry. I should have actually prepped this. But in all
mhm,
fairness, you gave me 10 minutes to figure out how to do this, and I don't think I've risen up to the task tonight. My apologies. We
that's
will
okay.
share your we'll share your ebook and the flyers you sent me, put it on our page,
Hmm.
and encourage our audience to
Hmm.
share as
I
well.
don't know
And
if I can share it here too.
if you have it, please, yeah, try share screen.
Okay, hold on, because I have it up. I'll see if I can
Okay. Does it give you
share
the option?
screen. Mm, I think
Is it working?
will have to you have to allow it T. You have to allow the sharing of the screen.
It's not. Oh, try it again. I did see something. Try it again. Let me see. Try it again.
Um,
Let
okay.
me see if that comes up.
Okay,
Oh yes,
so
add to stream.
can you
Yay!
see it now?
Okay, what is this screen we're seeing? Thank you so much. You saved the day.
So yeah, can you see my screen now? It's
Yes,
the
yeah.
ebooks.
Everybody's on now. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yes, this is the free ebook. And again, my question is, if you're planning to start your own business or in the middle of setting up your business, this will be your helpful guide on how to do it. And if you want a copy, please send me an email so I can send it to you, to the link to you. It's maria@consultatiaglobal.com.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got it. What's the next slide?
Oh, yeah, so I just want to share too, for tomorrow. We do have this is a free fun Facebook Live. It's not a webinar; it's a Facebook Live chat. And because today, this month T is our June Heritage Month for Filipinos, so
That is
we yeah,
right.
so we are actually doing a chat wherein we will be sharing our own real life stories. Um, when we immigrated here in Canada. So we do have a number of panelists here. I'm one of the person who will be sharing my story, and um, we have our colleague from Consultasia Global too, who will be. They're all here except for Tinette, who is our host.
Right.
We will all be sharing our stories,
Well,
struggles, funny stories, and success stories here in Canada.
okay, what are some of the stories? Let's see. Would you know Annaline's story?
Sorry,
What are some of the exciting stories that you know?
Well,
Hear
one of the
some.
exciting stories is for me when I was new in Canada. Funny story that I can share. One funny story is riding the bus
Ah,
because I'm not used to riding the bus. When I first came here, I've been driving when I was in the Philippines. So um, when I first came here, it gives me so much stress when I'm
oh,
in, because I have my three kids with me and I have a stroller with me, so I feel that the door of the bus is gonna
oh,
hit me every time I go up or I go outside of the bus. So it's
oh,
just it's causing me a lot of stress. So my husband told me you have to learn how to you have to challenge the driving now here. So because it is quite you need to learn how to drive here because
especially
um,
when you have kids. It's not a luxury; it's a necessity.
it is a necessity. That's right. That's right. So that's one of the things that actually urged me to that time it was very very snowy. It was winter that time, so I don't want to challenge the driving yet.
Yeah,
But when the snow started to to recede, I challenged the exam because it's giving me, when we go to the doctor for the doctor's appointment and my husband is
yeah.
working, I had to bring my kids and we ride the bus. It's just so stressful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have more funny stories to share with you,
We'll
with them tomorrow.
jump in tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. MST. So, what has
Yeah,
the Filipino was June is Filipino month, right?
that's right. Yeah. So I believe last Sunday, there are some organizations that had a train ride.
Yeah,
Instead of a parade, they made a train ride. I was not part of it. I didn't join, but I saw in Facebook because we do have very active Filipino communities as
yeah,
well. They've been doing a lot, some kind of a charity work as well, helping other Filipinos too, especially during the COVID.
yeah,
And I wasn't part of it, but I give credit to them, and they're doing a good job in terms of
yeah.
helping our Filipinos here in Canada.
All
So
right.
this particular chat for tomorrow, it's going to be live on Facebook, and
Mm,
it's going to be we will be sharing our lessons learned and
yeah,
what are the things that you can avoid and how
yeah.
to prepare if you are coming to Canada, and if you're new in Canada, we will be sharing some tips on how to deal with culture shock as well.
That sounds like
Mm.
fun. What is the
Yeah.
last thing on your slide? You've got one
And the
more.
other one is so this one here. So we just wanted to invite our business owners to 4-week program. We have a program for business owners on how to level up their business and themselves as well. So it's called Level Up Your Entrepreneurial Game: How to
Mm-hmm.
Achieve Greater Success in Your Business. So it's going to be a 4-week program geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners. So it
Okay.
starts in July 11. And again, please email me. Again, my email is maria@consultatiaglobal.com for more information.
Okay. Sounds like fun. You've been busy, Maria. There's no stopping you, is there?
Yeah, it's quite busy. I mean, I was able to focus more on this consulting business and training now that travel is a bit slow.
Right.
But yeah, it's good. I don't want to be wasting my time too in terms of doing nothing, so I just needed to make sure that
Fair
I'm
enough.
doing something.
Yeah, absolutely. And Edmonton is ready for Consultatia Global. Edmonton is ready for you because you come with a lot of zest, a lot of energy. And we're ready for your workshop on the 11th of July. It is, yeah.
Yeah, great. We hope to see people there. Yeah.
Awesome. I want to say thanks, Maria, for coming on to the Yeg Show tonight. We try to support businesses by lighting what your business is and how this city,
Hmm.
our people can gather around and to
Hmm.
support you. So I hope this broadcast brings one or two inquiries that are favorable your way.
Yeah.
I hope your business balloons up, and I hope things carries on. I
Yeah.
hope things get bigger and better for
Thank
you
you, T.
every day.
Yeah.
Thanks again for coming on
And
the show.
and I wish you success too in all your endeavors. T has been such a great help for business
Oh, thank
owners,
you.
small or big or medium-sized business owners. And if you're interested, she still has some spot in her magazine. Just contact her if you want your business to be advertised and to be highlighted there. So all the best to you, T, as
That's how we
well.
do it. Thank you
Mhm.
again, Maria. Thanks for coming on
Okay.
the show.
Yeah.
Please like
Thanks.
the content. See you next time. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye.